So I wanted to make kind of like a quick video talking about borderline personality disorder. So I've had borderline personality disorder for the last 5 years that I know of. And for a while it was really scary to have. It was hard to get used to, and even now I have some times where it's really hard. So for people that don't know what it is, most of us deal with having uncontrollable emotional outbursts. A lot of it stems from having traumatic events happen to us as a child or anywhere in our lives. Well, for me, I believe it stemmed from my childhood trauma and then going into adult trauma. I dealt with my ex-fiance when I was 18. I left my home because of my emotional abuse I had to deal with my mother. And I met my ex-fiance, and he was the definition of too good to be true. And within a month of living with him, I discovered he was an alcoholic. I was being choked and slammed up against fridges, slapped in the face. I was in the corner crying while getting screamed at. He used to stab the wall to try to intimidate me. I would hide in the bathroom at 3 a.m. and cry, and he would break down the door. I would call my sister crying, saying that he hit me again, and I didn't know what to do. I felt stuck because going home wasn't an option, and I didn't feel like I had anywhere to go. I didn't have any help. And I was with that man for 2.5 years, and I dealt with a lot with him. I dealt with, him watching pornographic videos and punching the floor, telling me he thought he was beating the shit out of a woman, and he knocked over the shelf and I needed to clean it up. He would wake me up in the middle of the night and tell me he puked everywhere and I needed to clean it up before his mom got home or got up. I didn't really ever sleep. It was constant, with your guard up. And then after I left him and I went to my other ex, I dealt with similar things, except I became an alcoholic myself. I got into drug use to try to self-medicate, and I dealt with being choked, dragged across floors, being so scared that I was in closets and dinner would get kind of tossed at me because I'd be too scared to go near him. I started cutting myself really bad. I've had suicidal attempts to where I've been in the hospital before for overdosing. I've had some very bad psychological trauma, and it ended up getting so bad that I started manifesting, what I thought was manifesting, different people in my head that were protecting me. I had people in my mind that, one was anger, one was, me as a child, one was me as a very young child, and I had names for them all, and I saw pictures of them, and they were always in and out. And right before I got diagnosed with it, things got so bad that I wasn't feeling like I was myself anymore. My eye color would change, and I'd hear, this weird heckle laugh come out of me, and then all of a sudden I wouldn't feel like I was in control anymore. And that's normally when I would hurt myself really badly, and no one could really stop me. And it got really, really bad. And I started going to therapy, and they told me it was called borderline personality disorder. And what comes from that is pretty much you disassociate from reality altogether, and you have angry outbursts. At times you even feel like you must protect yourself at all times, even if nothing's happening. You get irritated very easily. You cry over everything, literally at the wrong time. If someone pokes you in the arm, you can start crying. And it's hard for a lot of people to understand. To a lot of people, you're overreacting. There's no reason for it. They don't really get why all of a sudden you are slipping in and out of reality. A lot of us have a hard time listening. And it's not that we don't want to listen to what you're saying, but our minds block out things, block out a lot of things. My mind has erased a lot of details from things because it's supposed to protect you. It's a way that this disorder is trying to protect you from reality. So a lot of times we don't even have the ability to deal with people on a regular basis. And even if we do, we can shut down. We get overwhelmed very easily. We can put on a happy face, but inside we feel like we're dying, and we may say what to you 5 different times while you're talking to our face because we aren't comprehending anything you're saying. Our minds are somewhere else. The term being a daydreamer kind of stemmed from having borderline personality disorder. And even a lot of therapists don't know much about it because it's hard to understand. It comes and goes and it's there all the time, but you aren't seeing the side effects all the time. So if you ever do deal with somebody who has this disorder, and try to be very patient. We do get irritated very quickly because to us, we get flooded with memories. One thing can happen and your mind gets triggered off. And when that mind gets triggered off, it's really hard to shut it down. It's really hard to understand that the person that's talking to you isn't trying to hurt you. A lot of us feel like they always are. But like I say in all my videos, remember that God will get you through anything, and that even though you have these problems, it's not the end of the world, and you can work through them yourself. You must stay positive, tell yourself happy things all the time, and find that support system, because there are people out there that care, and all the people that cause negativity in your life, you must get rid of them, otherwise it's only going to make things worse. God bless you all, and have a great night.